or not for
Ooh.
Disney, for CD too. It was their Amazon or her Amazon photo is
Nice.
'cause she let them use her Prime Video account, and it just that was a whole
Nice.
fucking thing not too long ago, and I'm like, oh, thank God I never did shit like that. I took precarious pictures of other individuals, but I never took those of myself because I was like, no, the internet is a thing. I exist purely on 4chan right now. I no, why would I do that?
Oh yeah. I mean, once it's out there forever. Trust me.
Yeah,
I'll
you
go
can't
back.
take it back.
Yeah. It's like AIDS. You ain't going
Yeah.
back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so how does that affect your trip that you were taking there with your hand cut open?
Oh, it's stitched now. The
Oh,
only
okay.
reason it mildly affected anything was because my 90% of my house is packed. Like really the only thing that's not packed is part part of the kitchen. And it's the
Hmm.
functional part of the kitchen, like my coffee station and the normal use dishes, like my son's milk cups and shit.
Hmm.
So
So you cut your hand trying to get the knife out of its packaging?
no, I cut my hand trying to get ratchet straps out of their packaging. And instead
Oh
of
my
cutting
god.
the freaking zip tie that I had slid the knife through,
Uh-huh.
like my hand was on the other side of the fucking box.
You
I
just came
slid the
from the
knife
hospital?
through
Oh,
it and it
You ju-
sliced through my fucking hand, but not the zip tie. Like the zip
I
tie was still fully
see.
intact. I don't know what I'm more
So,
angry
so did you end up getting the zip tie off?
at. Well,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
I looked at my husband, I grabbed my hand, I clamped it closed, and I was like, hey, can you go get me a pair of scissors and some paper towels, please? And he was like, okay. And I was like, I'm
Wait a minute.
bleeding.
You
So please
still
hurry.
ask for more sharp objects?
Yeah,
You
I
ask for
needed to get the
scissors
ratchet
after
straps open.
Oh,
So
okay.
he
And you
You
didn't
have
want us
mind.
men.
to
You
you
have
want us
men
to
for
believe
sharp
it's not a kink?
objects.
I never said I didn't have a kink. I just have a stupid high pain tolerance. Like I have brittle bone disease. When somebody has broken as many
Ooh.
bones as I have, like I'm sorry, I'll cry if my arm's broken, but if I stab myself in the hand, not only have I been cooking for 25 years now, like I also happen to have a high pain tolerance from having brittle bone disease. Like stop and break your
Mm.
arm or you fall in a rugby scrum and you get your leg snapped in 6 places, that tends to hurt a fuck of a lot more than cutting your hand open and needing 3 stitches.
For sure.
True.
Now that's a
Like
kink right there.
matter
Brittle bones.
That's crazy.
you want to know who has a kink is those weirdos that get the hooks in their backs and then they
Ouch.
suspend.
Nah, bro.
Ouch.
That ain't no
Yeah,
that ain't
I'm
no
like,
kink,
I'm not.
bro. They trying to see God.
Yeah. They
Well, people,
they want an early meeting. That's all that is.
Messing
Or they
around.
probably
All
just need
right.
a hug from their
Sounds
daddy.
interesting.
Hey, I see
All right.
somebody what is that? Speaker 80 Tusu. I see you. I see you. No way you're
Oh
50. Wait, no,
no,
that's Gary.
Gary's 50, not too
Okay, I was
soon.
about to say.
What is 50?
Like you liar.
What is that? What is 50?
Oh, we
Oh,
were
that is age.
Yeah, I'm 47.
Age?
Hey, we got Tyrell in the room. What's up, Tyrell? All right, we're recorded. We are live now, so I'm going to go ahead and do this intro real quick. Welcome to the first episode of the DLA Dow Show on Entra, being streamed to Twitter and YouTube as well, both Dow accounts. Dow accounts. We're going to be going Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and have some weekend events. But Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to talk stocks, cryptos, the markets, NFTs, gaming, economics, everything that we all love at the Dow and all the devs love in the community, all that good stuff. So if you haven't yet, be sure to either follow us on Twitter or Diamond DSO somewhere here on Entra. We're all over the place, and all the devs are all over the place, live streaming, doing all types of stuff. But let's get the show started. Thanks everybody so far for joining. We got some of our DSO natives here, some of our good DSO friends, Tusu and Tyrell Smith, already on the stage with us. And we
Yeah,
plan on bringing more people from the DSO community to these things and getting them on here and getting more involved. But yeah, if you don't know, we are DLA Down. We are a decentralized autonomous organization of gamers, artists, musicians, developers, all of that. And our aim is to onboard people from Web 2 to Web 3 through all types of play to earn gaming. Our own play to earn game, Forgotten Corners, the first play to earn metaverse in development on DSO blockchain. We're going to be doing a lot this year. So definitely, if you want to be a part of the DAO, just hit us up. All you have to do to be a DAO member is be a coin holder. And we do airdrops, contests, all types of stuff like that. Genesis Character Mint for Forgotten Corners is live now on NFTs.me. Let's get started. So how's everybody today? We've already kind of went through Lauren, you've cut your hand today. That's how your day's been going. Some things going there. What about you, Tyrell? You just joined. What's up, bud?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Just got off of work, man. Just tapping in with everybody. I'm feeling good. I was just talking to somebody earlier just about the crypto, economy and how everything is playing out. I'm just wondering, what's going on within the market, but I'm glad to be here and, tap in with everybody.
For sure. Are you itching because the stock market's closed today? Is that?
Oh, dude, my mentor, he tells me all the time he go through withdrawals when the market is closed. I said, man, keep on.
Yeah. That's why I got into cryptos. One of the reasons in the beginning is because that 5 days a week on stocks. So it's like, man, Saturdays and Sundays. I used to like Saturdays and Sundays. Now I'm bored.
Yeah. Yep. He hates. He like, Ty, why is the market not open? I'm like, you asking me like I run the market.
Well, crypto market never closes.
Never closes, man. That's one of the best things. I think, for me, I used to always hear, we could trade cryptos on the weekends. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait until people can say I could trade crypto 24/7. I think it's going to be, one of those things that people are going to adopt and it becomes second nature. We just got to, wait and see at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to look at the crypto market right now. Look at Bitcoin and look at all the coins right now. Really, all the altcoins are really rallying after Bitcoin. And it's been happening for the past several days. My target right now for Bitcoin is around 30,000. I think that we can reach 30,000 here within the next couple of weeks, if not a couple months. And around that time, you'll see a lot of altcoins rallying as well. So it's a really good time to get in on a lot of the coins that aren't, worth so much, but have great potential and are really doing something in the space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, I mean, never financial advice, but I mean, I have Bitcoin on a 52-week doing about 49K.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was seeing. I've seen like a 32 K support. You know what I mean? I'm kind of banking on that. So I agree. I see it going anywhere from 36 to 42 within the next, I would say, 2 months.
That looks good. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. That's a good a prediction. My prediction is solid on 30-32 though.
Yeah,
Anybody
absolutely.
Any of our other analysts in here? H, you got what you think about Bitcoin?
For Bitcoin, I think it's a good for right now, it's definitely coming into some kind of bottom, some kind of consolidation, and with it just being the beginning of the year, we could see some buying coming in, especially as people get their tax returns and things like that. So that's what I'll be expecting to move upward out of this range. I mean, just think about how many people are going to get money and just be like, oh, I didn't get Bitcoin down here at whatever, and they're going to start buying in this dip if they know what they're doing. They may buy the top again. You never know.
I mean, that's a great way to think about it, but I wouldn't rely on so much of people getting like tax returns and things like that.
Mhm.
I look at big businesses that are doing things with it, countries that are doing things with it. Right
Mhm.
now, you have a problem with India. India wants to ban, the sale of all cryptocurrencies. China wants to have its own yen-backed stablecoin, but they have banned Bitcoin from being mined there because of the environmental effects.
Yep.
So we have to figure out all these things, which is why I've sided with Cardano. It's one of the greener technologies of cryptocurrencies,
Mhm.
and doesn't put out so much carbon. but we have to look at the companies that are doing things with these cryptocurrencies in order to
Mhm.
see the real gains, the real unicorns. We can just throw our money in anything, but you don't want to rely on the on people getting their tax returns to put it
Well,
on,
I know
especially in a
that.
recession right now, because
Yeah,
we're in a
yeah,
recession. People are hungry. Meat of eggs are $18 million a piece, and it's crazy. So
yeah.
you know,
I feel that. Yeah.
So, how long do you think
House
we've been in a
subscriptions
recession
have
for?
how long do I think we'll be in a recession for?
No, how long have we been in a recession? Because you're claiming we're in a recession. You know, the news has not claimed we're
Or
in a
inflation,
recession yet.
inflation. I'm sorry, we're not in a we're yeah, technically we're not in a recession. You are correct.
No,
This
no, no. I'm not
inflation.
asking you. No, 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 no,
No,
no, no.
no.
You have
I
to.
believe we are. I
We
think you're
are.
right in your wording, but
Yes.
Have we,
I'd just like to know when you think we started that.
it would have been like COVID, I guess. I would say COVID was the recession.
Mm.
Once they started throwing out money, or would you say 9/11? I mean, we can go all the way back there, but
So
once it
the official classic economic book definition of recession is 2 months followed by higher inflation and decrease in GDP. That
Mhm.
started right at the beginning of last year in 2021. And you know what also started? The Fed stopped the raising lowering interest rates. They started raising interest rates. So this is what I was about to add into the conversation, where we have the U.S. dollar that's getting destroyed right now. We have inflation still pushing all-time highs, even though in December, whenever it was, it came out with the CPI. A lot of the news and everybody reacted to it like it was good. However, close. The food and shelter inflation went up again. So you cannot have an economy when the food and the shelter prices are out the roof. People can't afford to invest in anything else. But the
Mhm.
U.S. dollar right now, and also I believe it was either Tyrell Tusu brought it up. The other countries, the BRICS nations, what they're doing in India. The news article, we were going to bring that up as news, but great job already bringing it up. India's trying to ban cryptocurrencies right now because of their own CBDC that they released, the India e-rupee, a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
So this is a whole nother level. It's just not, technical analysis and that type of stuff. Like we're looking at like the
That's
whole
billions of people.
entire world. Yeah, exactly. The whole globe is shifting in the financial
Mhm.
markets,
Mhm.
including U.S. dollar's power over
Yep.
the whole world, and I believe Bitcoin dominance. I think this cycle around, there's a big difference. We have a lot more solid projects in the crypto space,
Yeah.
solid blockchains, including DeSo, which news for DeSo today, they're doing 2 exchange listings already, and they're planning more the rest of the year. So that's pretty big. But like as more people come to DeSo, Cosmos ecosystem, all these other ecosystems, they're not going to
Yeah.
be buying Bitcoin as much. And the truth right now is BlackRock and Grayscale, they own a lot of Bitcoin, and they can control the markets. They control Bitcoin and Ethereum prices with those futures. It's nothing new for them. But I just want to throw all that in there, and you guys hop in here and let me know what you think.
Yeah, I've been really looking at it, just paying attention to the Great British Pound and the odd. I do feel like a lot of the other countries are starting to build in liquidity and kind of trying to find their own stability. I agree when it comes to like the inflation rates and stuff like that, but we also got to pay attention to the unemployment rate, right? So I believe as the inflation rate goes down, the unemployment rate is going to go up, which is what we really need to pay attention to. You know what I mean? And so I kind of heard what H Trader was talking about when it comes to the consumers. Me and my mentor, we bump heads about this a lot because he believes he trades with the banks, but I believe the consumers control what the banks are thinking. See what I'm saying? Because they're not going to move until it breaks their bottom dollar, right? Or it moves their bottom dollar. And I always say that. You know what I mean? Like a $1 billion company will not sniff out a project unless they know that there's been traction and true conviction, right? And so I believe both hands in hand go together. You know what I mean? Consumers really control trends, and then the investors mark those trends and be able to support it, right? And so there's going to be some type of stability with the stable coins, with the different total transactional volume that's going to be, fluctuating in. But we really need to see what the dollar is going to do. And if that inflation rates keep rising, then it's going to scare away a lot of consumers and a lot of major banks. So that's just my main thing.
And keep in mind too, though, the inflation rate goes up, the consumers are going to have less money to spend too. And also, the U.S. consumers are in a ton of debt right now. Like we are all like, if you look at the money debt clock, the average I think is like 260,000.
So what do you think they're going to do with the tax returns? They're going to spend it on food and stuff like that.
So this the thing though, not to cut you off, and I know Slunk, I just want to say this one point, and I know you want to go. I just believe that when it comes to the debt, I believe that a lot of people debt is going to be wiped for a new transition into this new digital economy, right? I've been hearing a lot of people saying like, debt clearance and debt consolidation when it comes to cryptocurrency, and I would love to know what you guys think of that.
Say that one more time.
I think get this student debt relief passed and found as constitutional and not unconstitutional. And then we can talk about the government intruding in on the private debts that people hold with private companies. Because that's two completely different things. Like if you're talking on a national level, you would need the government involved in something like that. And as nice as that sounds, like you're not going to get that, because at the end of the day, the government is in the pockets of that big money, and that big money wants you to stay in debt, paying 29.97% interest on a credit card for the next 30 years.
The government created the student loan debacle, and I don't know about forgiving everybody's loan entirely, but they should wipe away people's interest. I mean, that's just, they created the problem. They should just eat the interest. Like, so what? You don't make fucking fake money. Big deal.
They should also make they should also make the system that they put in place functional. Because like people that go into public service after taking $200,000-$300,000 worth of debt out, making those payments every month, thinking that, hey, in 20 years after I've committed my contract of public service, I'll have the rest of this forgiven, and then I'll be able to start my life. Like I'll be actually able to breathe and buy a house. People had those dreams, and the government was like, yeah, no, sorry, you missed one payment, so you don't qualify. Like there are the stupidest, pettiest of reasons to make it systemically dysfunctional. And it was
Try to get the NBA and the NFL to be financing some of that stuff. They make so much money off of recruiting people out of those environments, and where does that money go? Everybody else is just fucked, like for stupid ass degrees. Also too, people need to be more wise as they enter something like college. Like people are taking out these massive loans for something that's not even viable as a career path. Like, I mean, to me, it's like you're just dumb at that point. Like, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of empathy. I don't have a lot of empathy for taking out giant loans on degrees that aren't going to pay off, and not understanding what you're getting into.
Yeah, but see, you said it right there. Not understanding. You're letting 17, 18, 19, and 20-year-olds make life-altering decisions with their financial future. And that's predatory. It doesn't matter if it's Miller Motte College coming out and, saying, hey, I'm gonna target all of these ads and these phone calls to these high risk groups, these single moms that they don't have any other community resources, they're struggling day to day. I'm going to tell them that we have the option, because not only will we help you get through college and make it accessible by giving you a flexible schedule, but we're going to help you find career placement afterwards. And then they fudge the graduation rate numbers and the actual career placement numbers. So those people go into thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of debt that's exponentially more expensive than just getting a community college degree. Like I have 3 community college degrees. I had a semester and a half at Miller Mott, and it was because I didn't have a car, and the only community college was 15 miles, and there was no city transit where I was at. Miller Mott was 2.5 miles, and I can walk that to and from class. And I'm $20,000 in debt from that. I went on nothing but Pell Grants to the community college, and I got 2 different degrees from them and 3 certifications if you want to count the ones that were in a different city that I got through the fire department. Like never going a dime into debt with that and still having money given back to me at the end of the semester because I didn't spend everything on books. It's the psychology of how financial wellness. It's not taught in schools anymore. Thankfully, I had boomer grandparents, and my granddad's one of the few weird boomers that's into Bitcoin.
Wow.
So real quick, what we're all talking about right now, this is all the symptoms of the real issues, right? Like the reason college is so expensive in the first place is the US dollar inflation. Since 1960, 1970, the DXY has been on a straight uptrend. So prices of everything have went up. But when that happens, we're seeing it now too with the super hyperinflation that we're in. But the colleges took all of that, worked with the government, and price gouge. Like there's no reason why books should cost 500, but then to Gary's point, people are lazy and complacent because we've been relying on the government. Everything that's happening right now has been set up because of this US dollar. That is the game. This is the game, and these are the symptoms that we're talking about. So the real issue, right, is that we need the US dollar's power to not be as strong as the hold as it's had on the whole entire world. Now, when we're in the US, that's a hard thing to say because you're like, well, I'm in the US, I use US dollar, I don't want it to be weakened. But the truth is, they've been weakening the US dollar and taxing us on top of it. See, inflation is like a tax. So when you've got inflation rising and you've got taxes rising at the same time, you are squeezing the middle and lower class completely out of the economy, which is real crazy because they are the consumers. The reason why everybody's in debt, the reason all these symptoms have occurred is because they set this all up for all of this, the complacency.
But Ben, doesn't people withholding their purchasing power and not wasting it on frivolities, and that brings more purchasing power back to the dollar? It's also, of course, they're baiting people into this maniacal bullshit. But honestly, if you just don't buy this bullshit, and when you spend your money, it's actually you are exchanging value with the service or good that you're purchasing. Then now that money becomes more more valuable. Don't fucking buy this shit. Don't go to these fucking schools. Then they'll be fucking begging for $5.
Right, but that's the problem. See, we're too long past that. This education system and everything has taught us the U.S. dollar is the end all be all. You know, in our history books and everything, we look at the U.S. dollar. Most people don't even know about other foreign currencies at all. Right.
I mean, they could do the same scam with Bitcoin, as you know. I mean, it's the psychology of the people going like, "Oh, I need all this bullshit that you don't really fucking need."
Right, but it's not between the smart people, the small few percentage that know financials. That's the consumers, the part that makes the import and exports run. The mass population doesn't know this stuff. They're not on Entra. They're not on Twitter. They're not on crypto. They're not on anything. They're not even in the stock market or none of that.
Well, most of their brains aren't even on.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, you're saying this leans back into the actual curriculum and what the government holds is important for people to know, right? Because they choose the curriculum. They want you to abide by the curriculum. And they 100%. Teach you how to be stupid, and not really be stupid, but how to be a drone.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because if you look at statistics of entrepreneurship, most people that maintain straight A's and B's throughout most of school tend to work for somebody else. when they go out into the work field versus people that you see sometimes it's normally B and C students, sometimes as low as D and F students, that they end up being more functional outside of that entire environment because that's not how their brain is wired to work. And those tend to be the more productive and successful entrepreneurs.
Well,
yes.
there's also been tests that show that kids would learn as much or more information if they attended school from 11 a.m. to the same time every day at 3:30 or 4 when they leave, as they do if they were to go at the time they currently attend. But they won't do that because it's not about learning. It's about getting you in the motion of going every day at this same time to do the same thing every single day for the rest of your life.
We could also maybe take our children out of public school.
Yeah, hold on. We got Tyrell's hand up. What's up, Tyrell? Jump in here with us.
Yeah, I just want to know in regards to, I'm gonna take a left a little bit. The average income in Syracuse is only 28,000. You know what I mean? And I believe that going back to the purchasing power, how can we have any purchasing power when our income is terrible? See what I'm saying? People are not making the same type of money that they used to make, and on top of that, they don't have the same savings as they used to have. See what I'm saying? So it also goes back to that.
What's the average cost of living in Syracuse? Like, what does it cost for rent and stuff like that?
So the average one bedroom is literally like $950. See what I'm saying? A studio is $750. You know what I mean? And so you thinking about it like we're basically getting taxed and treated like New York City, but not really making New York City money. And I believe other cities are dealing with the same type of problem. You know what I mean? They're near a major city, but they're not really making the money as a major city. This is why they look at Syracuse as a college town. Why? Because most of the income comes from Syracuse University. And so that's what they're doing. They're literally sabotaging everybody who lives in the city to kind of flush out and move to the, the outstates and the suburbs, and bringing in all of the local kids who are basically on tuition to raise the price of the Syracuse economy. You know what I mean? Which again, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but what about all of the people who've had their homes here for years on end? Like, I can't even find apartments in Syracuse because most of the apartments are only for college students. That tells you a lot, right? So if I can't,
you're nailing it. Think about what you're saying right now. It's like putting a rat in a cage because they can only afford to eat their food and have their shelter.
Exactly.
And anything else is going to go to debt. They're going to go into debt to try to survive if they're not already in debt. And if you're already in debt and we're getting into the situation, you better be praying that the government and the World Econ Forum and everybody is going to reset the debt, because if not, it's going to get worse and worse. But yeah, I mean, there, like, that's the thing. They're squeezing everybody to make us to where we're just rats in a wheel. They keep us working, trading our valuable time for low wages that's inflated and being taxed. It comes out of your check before you get your check. It takes your money before it even comes to you, and you are just sitting there working just to have a hamster cage and a wheel of water and a bowl of food. That's it. That's the trap. That's what's been going on for 100 years. It's getting more and more obvious.
So do you think that the abolishment of the IRS will pass?
No.
I've been hearing about that. No, because I'm gonna be honest, look at the FDIC, right? So most banks are gonna create a liquidity pool that's all gonna be ran by the feds to be able to regulate crypto in the first place, right? So I believe that once they regulate crypto with the FDIC, then it's gonna create a different type of liquidity for people to actually take out a crypto loan, maybe out on their debt or their credit cards and so on and so forth. So going back to that whole stable coin, they're not gonna really regulate a stable coin until they really lower the interest rate. But they're not going to lower the interest rates until unemployment reaches a point where it's unbearable. So we literally have to drown before they even save us, which is crazy.
Unemployment is already unbearable. They're just like gritting their teeth.
Say that one more time.
Unemployment is already unbearable, right? Like, they're just gritting their teeth, smiling at you and telling you, oh yeah, we'll do it soon, like we're waiting for this.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And so it's like, to be honest, I even look at it in regards to people who making prevailing wage, right? The prevailing wage is literally the only real true source of income that's stable right now. And that's only getting paid through the state and the feds, right? So if you don't have a state or a federal job, you're literally not even surviving with your income. I mean, that says a lot. So it's like until they start to realize that like you guys can't hold the liquidity and the money within the markets of the states, just to kind of make yourself sound better, like, oh, well, this state is doing better than this state, then we're still going to be secluded, and that's the biggest problem. Everybody's still treating themselves like a little island when we're really not moving as one country. You know what I mean? Let's just call it what it is, and so I think that's the biggest problem. Like, we don't really have a direction that we want to go into. Hence why they're saying everybody just do your own thing, figure out your own finances, because we can't agree on anything. You know what I mean? Should crypto be regulated? We don't know. Should interest rate be lower? We don't know. Everybody's just making speculations, but the rich is still getting richer, and while everybody else is still trying to figure out how can they survive through all of this.
Damn, I remember when Jesus went to their temple and he flipped over their tables and he said, "Don't fucking charge interest. You guys are the fucking synagogue of Satan. How about we fucking abolish fucking interest rates? That's fucking predatory. That's bullshit."
I doubt that, man. Like if they do that, I think it will be mutiny within the country. You know what I mean? Like we don't want to create. They're trying to make the people happy without creating mutiny, which is never going to happen. We also got to realize too. You know what I mean? There's way more people trying to come to this country that's still looking for work. You know what I mean? We're still allowing more. And I kind of understood, I'm not a big Trump fan, but I kind of understand what he's saying, where it's like people are literally coming here to earn wages and then bringing their money back to their countries, which is never really going to help our GDP, as Ben always talks about. You know what I mean? So it's like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? How can we really sustain our own stability when we're so focused on...
And then exactly what you're saying, and then multiply that by the and godly amount of fucking illegal people they let sneak into this country that are working into the
making
table.
money though. Those are the people who are running our corner stores. Those are the people owning the different stores all around us. They're not paying no taxes.
You can't own a corner store and come here. But I'm talking about the Latinos, people that come here. They're making a bunch of money under the table, sending it back to Mexico, and people try to tell me like, "Oh, they can't get food stamps." I'm like, have you ever met gangsters, dude? Like these guys have, they just buy social security numbers. Like, yeah, they're getting these benefits, but yeah, they're maybe some of their taxes are going into some system they're never going to get. They are reaping all these benefits and sending their money back. It's a huge fucking problem. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're a bigot." I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, you guys are retarded.
It's not you being a bigot though at all. It's you being aware of. I'm assuming you're from somewhere in the Southwest. Like I'm from Tucson originally. I'm moving.
I'm in
back
Texas.
Okay, so I'm moving back to Tucson pretty soon here, and the big thing that's going on right now down there is people are not only fleeing up here to find jobs and then send the money back home, but currently one of the largest cartels that operates down there is collapsing. So we're watching over I think it's been about 2 decades of this, hey, we're going to look the other way. You guys do your thing out in the middle of nowhere. You don't kidnap people, don't shoot people in the streets, and we're going to look this way while you guys are trafficking people and running drugs across the border.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent a good amount of time in Tucson. There's not a lot of employment opportunities in the first place there.
How do we go from where we're at now in this current economic situation of all the stuff? Because again, the border and all that's just symptoms. That's the same things, the other stuff. It's just symptoms from the initial the problem, right? This is why politics is so dumb, is because both sides argue to put band-aids on the problems they started. And people are like, yeah, put a band-aid on it. I like you.
I kind of know what you're asking, but we don't know the rules of the game. See what I'm saying? Until we can have a direction.
Let's break that down. What's the game specifically?
So what I mean by the game is, okay, income to expense, right? How can I make money and how can I actually spend it to where I can keep some of my money? You know what I mean? Of course, there's tax write-offs. Of course, there's so many different things that they claim that we can do. But at the end of the day, I don't know the rules of the game to get wealthy besides what I've been doing. And what I've been doing has been working, but they're always allowing us. There's always a hurdle that you got to cross before you can actually get to the finish line. That's why I keep saying what's the rules of the game, because it's like carrying a carrot in front of a dog and saying you can get this carrot at the end of the finish line, but there's never really a finish line. See what I'm saying? Like
So-
I think
so
just jumping through hoops
So
to
then
get to
why
something
would you
better.
follow the rules?
Because at the end of the day, that's the rules that's in place to become successful. You know what I mean? And that's I have to play by their rules, because at the end of the day, they have the liquidity. I don't. If I have the liquidity, if I have the capital, then I can play by my own rules. But until then, I have to play by the rules of the people who have the money. See what I'm saying? Like I understand when people be like, well, you can do it on your own. Yeah, you can do it on your own to a certain extent, but you got to play by the rules of the game, or you're not going to be able to be wealthy. It's just what it is. I didn't make the rules. I just follow the rules. And of course you can adjust the rules to your favor. But if you don't have capital, impact, and liquidity, then you can't really do much. See what I'm saying? So like going back to your questions, like I really don't know the rules of the game to be able to say, okay, this is the direction that I want to go into. Hence why you ever hear about Robert Kiyosaki always talk about this. You know what I mean? He doesn't trust the dollar because they're always moving the goalposts. You know what I'm saying? I
And
believe
Kiyosaki doesn't play by the rules.
he doesn't play by the rules. He creates his own rules, but hence why he doesn't trust the rules.
Exactly. If you
you're
follow
talking
the
about-
rules, if you follow the rules that they said, that they gave you the people who's in charge of the hamster wheel, and they're saying this is the way to escape the hamster wheel, then you're going to probably be following the longest path out of there, if at all, right? So that's
Exactly.
why entrepreneurs like us, Tyrell, we have to change the rules. And that's where I believe crypto and blockchain and NFT tech and all this technology, this is where we have to be strong at to get people over here if we're going to have any effect on the rules. If not, we're going to be regulated, and this whole market's not going to be any different. It's already getting there with Grayscale and BlackRock and
It's
all of
already
those.
like that right now because as the dollar fell,
exactly.
Bitcoin should have gone up in value instead of down.
And look at the people who are getting to the access to the ICOs and stuff like that. They're not consumers. They're not the regular people. See what I'm saying? By the time the consumers actually know about all of this, it's too late. They already liquidated their money. So it's like, again, the important people know where to find the wealth. They know the rules of the game before everybody else. See what I'm saying? That's the thing. We don't get access to the actual opportunities, because by the time we ever know about it, they already ran and gone with our money.
Okay, so a couple of things. You keep saying that the general population doesn't know until everybody else has pulled their money. And
Correct.
you keep comparing yourself to the general population. But the fact that you're sitting in this space trying to grasp this information proves that you're not. And you need to get your brain out of the mindset of, I don't have the same information that everybody else does. Because you being here and wanting that information has already killed like the comparison level. Like you're above that. What you need is the knowledge. Look at people are gonna like this comparison because the dude was a shitty fucking dude and did a lot of really shitty things. But Jeffrey Epstein, he was a fucking nobody, had no money, nothing. But what he had was knowledge, and he had the resources.
Yeah.
Here, establish the resources and gain the knowledge. The money will come along with that, because you'll start to see the patterns and everything once you have that knowledge. You'll look at it and you'll be like, oh shit, I know what they're doing. I need to move my money. I need to get it here because I see the money going in and transferring hands. You need the same knowledge they have.
Education over regulation.
Exactly.
Education over regulation. If we do not educate the masses and ourselves, then they are going to regulate us. That's why we get regulated every time, is because the mass consumers never do the education. Well, why does the FDIC why is it there in the first place? because
Right.
people are not good with their money. They go and trade crazy
Right.
stuff. Brokers are not even good with their own money. You know, like
Right.
all these things that's been put in place. Again, these are the symptoms. We have to go back to the real problems that started 100 years ago when the central bank was officially introduced. You know, in America.
It was established.
Right.
Woodrow
They
Wilson,
don't
what
know
a
something to do with
scumbag.
Yeah. What's up, H? You been quiet. You too fresh. You got
Man,
something
I've
here?
been
Andrew?
listening, bro. I've just been listening. I've been chiming in here and there.
Fresh, you're
And Cal,
muted.
I want to know
We out here in the streets, bro.
You look like an
Dog
Eskimo at the
walking.
beach right now.
Yep, dog walking.
You look like there's a big hotel or something. You look like an Eskimo at the beach.
you look miserable.
I'm very miserable right now.
You should get
I
yourself a
hate it out here.
Batman mask that my son has. It's like a pull over carabiner, and it has a little face hole, and that's it. But it has little Batman ears. It'll keep your face a lot warmer. That hat.
He's in Canada, for those who don't know. He's not actually at a beach. Well, there's beaches in Canada, but he'd be looking the same at those.
I'd be worse. It would be way colder.
So what do you guys feel in regards to AI and how that's going to help the overall consumer behavior? You know what I mean? You know, maybe people don't need to be as knowledgeable, but just have the resources and artificial intelligence to give them the resources they need. You know, maybe they invest, into a subscription or invest into some type of software that allows them to basically become better financially literate.
Well, that's what
Maybe
I was gonna
this
go
week.
into that. Oh, go ahead. What you got, MacDaddy?
Made me a lot of money this week investing in Fetch.ai.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like maybe
AI,
you-
20% 4 days in a row. Thank you very much.
Have you guys heard of the I think it's Chat GPT or Chat
Yep.
GTP, where
Yep.
you can actually speak to software and it will code for you?
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
crazy insane. So basically you can build
remarkable.
websites, you can build all kinds of things. And this comes with, like, for years, like when I was coding and learning how to code and all this, it was something that you had to spend like months or years learning how to do. But now they have a software that learns from people and what people create to build off of templates. It's insane.
And then, and then guess what? Now your intellectual property becomes the creative property of the AI, and you're just training it to fucking do you. And there's already a big class action suit against ChatGPT and some
They've
other
been
ones.
collecting data for years.
Yeah.
For
Right.
years with no one knowing, and that's why they're gonna get fucked actually, because
The
they're
only
legally
AI pro-
collecting data. What's
The
Donk?
only-
Sorry.
I'm sorry. My computer cut out for a second. I didn't hear you talking. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, they've been like illegally collecting data since probably 2010. Like they've been around for a long time, just siphoning data, stealing like a lot. There's supposedly this secret room that no one was allowed into that had a bunch of terabytes of data, and somehow they might have been connected to the cloud, but they were just stealing data, and that's why you're seeing like what's the other one? Not just ChatGPT, the image one. I can't think of it right now. I don't know why.
It's like
Mid-Journey.
What?
Nah, Mid-Journey.
No, not that one.
Because Mid-Journey right now is getting sued.
too. Maybe they did
Yeah,
too.
They're getting sued right now.
Bait.io, what's the other one? The main one. Well, oh, Dolly. They've been doing the same thing. Some people don't even think it's AI. It's just data collection and aggregation. So we'll see.
So you're talking about the act they put in after 9/11, where the CIA and everything could. You know what I'm talking about? You know the name of it and stocks. You're more adept on that actual names. Oh, the Patriot Act.
Patriot
Yeah,
Act?
that's where they've been stealing our data. I mean, they told us we passed that. We voted these people in and they passed it.
So let me ask you this: how do y'all feel about this? So with all this AI and how it's learning and everything, and a lot of people were fearing, hey, this is going to take people's jobs and things like that. But there are some high level jobs that this AI is actually threatening. Like, let's say lawyers, for instance. What if they uploaded a database of all the laws?
Well, There's
They
an
already
AI. There's an AI right now that's going to be used to argue parking tickets.
Yep, 100%
Yeah.
already have.
Yeah.
It's being
Yeah.
tested, and that is the only AI that I am pro. Like I was getting ready to say that, like literally, because it makes, as somebody that I went to school for my paralegal degree,
Mhm.
so I saw the disadvantage that not having money has, and not having that knowledge of where those dots go on those T's and I's as far as legalese goes. Like it's a completely different thing. Like when you're in a courtroom, you're not arguing whether or not you broke the law. You're
But
just
are you
figuring
teaching?
out
Are you,
as
but are
to
you
whether or
teaching
not
the AI to do that as well?
yes,
Like, is that not scary?
I mean, it is scary, but that's the only AI I am pro, is because how many people do we have that are locked up on stupid charges? A lot of them that just didn't have competent defense.
Bueller, you seem
And-
so afraid of AI, but keep going, Stonk.
I am afraid of. I'm not afraid of AI. I'm afraid of AGI, and that could be like my age showing, bro. Like the Terminator and shit. Like
Dude,
Skynet's coming to take over. But
No,
That
like
shit that happened in
normally,
China not too
anytime
long
we
ago.
bring it up, you're like, what if it does this? What if it does this? What if it does this? Chill, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, being fearful.
and there's still
Yeah.
human touch.
Oh, hold on. The Tyrell's got his hand up. Tyrell, jump in here. What's up, Maintain? He just joined the show. We also got Sean Snyder in the audience, guys. Go follow Sean if you haven't, man. And Maintain. Maintain's dropping a lot of Web3 stuff in the music industry, killing it right now.
Yeah, real quick, I want to hear from Maintain, man. What's going on, bro? And then I can put in my one too.
Oh no, I was just speaking, man. How everybody doing?
We doing
I'm
good,
well,
bro.
man.
Great, man. I followed everybody in here. I'll follow you. Thanks for coming.
Okay.
Yeah, like I completely understand the fear of AI and data security and things of that nature. But it's like, as much as everybody's so afraid of their data being stolen, we give it out like it's nobody's business. See what I'm saying? Like if we're
Yes,
going
sir.
to, if we're gonna be,
100%.
you see what I'm saying? If we're gonna be pro data security, pro I love my data, we can't be like, well, let me subscribe
If
to this.
you're a pro data, everything should be on a virtual machine on your second
Hello.
screen. If you don't
Hello.
want anything stolen or anything,
Hello.
you run a virtual
Hey,
machine.
Mac,
I don't think
Mac.
you should have you should have a credit card then. If you're pro data security and all that, you shouldn't have a debit card, you shouldn't have a credit card,
Yep,
none of that, because
I'm
all of
just
that.
talking tech wise because all of this, if you have a virtual machine, everything is separated. You can like literally run code on that. So if you want nobody to see anything, you run a virtual machine on your second screen, meaning you'll run a second version of Windows 10 on your second screen.
Well,
So
it's not so much
Mhm.
about not being seen. It's about not being exploited. The virtual machine is almost like another computer. So if you hack the virtual machine and destroy it, let's say if I run a
Well,
script
yeah,
through, like
you just don't put personal stuff on there.
Yeah.
You keep it as a separate entity, right? So you're completely
But what is classified as personal? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of that's
everything,
very
everything.
See what I'm saying?
You save nothing. You just use
Like-
it to like search a couple things and then delete everything.
So
and
how do you
destroy
log?
the
How do you
machine.
log into your email? How do you
But
check the web? How
that's
do
the
you?
thing. That's where virtual machines fall off. You need more than that.
Yeah,
You need like
and
maybe a Tor browser. You need to get connected to maybe the dark web.
Exactly. A Tor
something.
browser is what
Yeah.
I use for virtual machine and VPN.
Mhm.
You have
Yeah.
to take it. No, I take it extreme if I want real internet security.
You see what I'm saying? But who is really as a like
doing
some
that? Nobody.
You feel me? You like and I'm
me
with you.
and maybe like one or two YouTubers because
You
I've
see what I'm
learned it from
saying?
them. That ass.
Like come on, like I'm thinking about my grandmother. I'm thinking about my little siblings. See what I'm saying? Those kind of people are not gonna download a VPN and have a virtual web page to check their fucking their homework for school. See what I'm saying? Like it's just
Yep.
it's not gonna make sense in a
And that's
logical
Web
way.
2.
You feel me? You know what I mean? Like we're the learning gap. Oh, go ahead.
I don't care about some of this like innocuous chit chat back and forth with each other over these this internet, this type of technology. What my concern is like the intellectual property, the creative ideas that this machine will steal from you. And if you guys will notice, I don't tell you exactly what the fuck I'm working on, and that is for a fucking reason. Because I don't like the terms of service, and I don't like these AIs. Every time you say something, sure enough, it fucking pops up, or somebody's
Smart.
Man, I want to shop for some couches, and there they are.
Yo, I don't have a fucking what's it called? I don't use TikTok, and like my phone is never really near me because, dude, I'll get ads if I speak too close to my phone, and TikTok is like a cancer. Nah, dude, I never talk about
real quick. I wanna get to the IP thing, and Mac Daddy, I wanna ask you too, because I do advertising. Yeah, like even like I'm going to be playing both fence, y'all. Like I'm going to be playing both fence because as much as everybody's saying that the same analytics that everyone's so afraid to give is the same analytics that help me generate better conversions for my business partners. See what I'm saying? So it's like, and then going back to the whole AP thing, and I want to hear from Stunk as well. Like, like I understand intellectual property is important, but we still got to build our own intellect for us to value our intellectual property, if that makes sense. See what I'm saying? We're not educated enough to be saying, well, this is my IP. Okay. How are you going to be able to use that IP to make a difference? No one really knows. See what I'm saying? So I get that it's your creative idea, but like just like everything else, without true implementation and execution, no one gives a fuck about your IP or your ideas.
Yeah, you need
I think it's more.
That's crazy because there used to be these people.
Let's try to stick to hands and stuff. Stocks has had her hand up for a bit. Let's go to her, and then you guys can jump back in. Let's just try to keep it nice and even, like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Nobody likes their peanut butter way more than their jelly. You got to have it nice and even.
I love my peanut butter more than my jelly. Fuck jelly.
Okay, Stunk, what's up?
Yeah, so as far as AI is concerned, AI, thankfully, right now, we experimented with it the other day in a group where we were asking one of the AI bots, like, its projections on crypto. And the one thing that stood out to me about that was when it was giving answers, it was a cumulative answer of about the 10 people that were in that chat would have come to anyways. So thankfully right now, AI is not able to learn anything that isn't already within the scope of human knowledge, which means that AI is currently limited to human knowledge because that's what it's programmed.
But the issue isn't AI. Like, for example, like I use my Alexa, I use Siri. I'm not against AI itself. I'm against AGI because that's not with human touch. A human starts it up and then it learns on its own. And that's completely different. And they've already created their own languages. They've already made silly jokes about taking over and how the human that they were working with would be their pets. And that kind of shit is scary.
Well, that kind of shit's why I keep
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
So here's the thing with all the AI and the blockchain and all this stuff. It's all technology, right? So it's who swings the sword.
Yeah.
Like your cell phone is worthless in the woods. Like a raccoon or something's not going to pick up your cell phone and start making money on it, more than likely. You have to have a human to handle that phone. Well, that's the same thing with the AI, the blockchain, all this stuff. There's humans that are programming and controlling this stuff. So when we get to AGI, that is, like Fresh is saying, that is where it can get scary because no longer is a human controlling it. Those things, those AGI, I've done my research too, are serious. And that's where it gets scary, like Terminator and all the movies and stuff like that. But again, technology in general, nuclear missile by itself out in the woods is not doing anything. Somebody's got to push that button. So it's all about who swings the technological sword, right? Who's got the power of it, of who's going to benefit and who's going to get their heads chopped off. So it is scary. It depends on which side of the sword you're on when it's being swung. And I think that's what Fresh is worried about. You don't want to be on that other side of the sword.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I completely agree, but then going back to what Stunk said, knowledge. You see what I'm saying? If you educate yourself on what's going on, you stay updated, then you don't have no reason to really be afraid because you can know what to do next. You know what I mean? Like execution is always gonna be key. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I don't believe anybody can outsmart me as long as I'm staying in my same mind and executing. You know what I mean? I understand, there's things that may be smarter than me, but I don't believe everybody execute on those things. You know what I mean? Going back to the AGI too, like I don't believe that it's going to allow us to eliminate all of the jobs and so on and so forth. Not consumer behavior, but being empathetic and actually being a human being is just as important as being knowledgeable and having, artificial intelligence. You know what I mean? It has to be a balance.
Tyrell, here's where I'm going to challenge you at. What you just said, humans and empathetic and all that, it's not anything special. We're all animals. Every animal has these type of things. This the point when we start thinking that we are smarter than ourselves and smarter than nature and trying to do AGI and AI and trying to put regulations on a free market when supply and demand is a natural law, survival of the fittest is natural laws of nature, right? Like humans are not smarter than any other species. And that is our biggest ego flaw and why we continue to repeat these dumb cycles over again and argue with each other. Like The Art of War was wrote so long ago, and yet it still stands true to this day because how easy it is to predict humans in mass and how easy it is to control them in mass.
When I had ego death on the hardest I've ever tripped on LSD, that's exactly what I thought, Ben. Framework.
No, I didn't get there that way, but that's one way to get there.
No, seriously. Well, I was young and trying to learn things. And yeah, when my ego was fully gone, I realized that exact thing, and that's why I am the way I am today, because that's how it is.
You tapped
And
into
cool.
Hold on a second. You say your ego's fully gone?
It was gone on that trip. Now, no.
Oh, okay.
No. Now I still have an ego.
I
I
got you.
try and keep it as low as possible and tame it because I've learned over time, the bigger your
There
ego,
we go.
the worse. Yeah. So I try and tame
That's
it.
what I was gonna say. Like it's a constant fight, bro. Like I have ego too. It's a
Of
constant fight.
course, we all want to be the best. We all want to be liked. We all want to be loved. We all want to make hella money and do our thing. But there's also, the respect part of it, and also taming yourself. But no, in that moment, my ego is completely gone, and there was like that sort of recognition where it's like, wow, I'm wrong.
No, Mac Daddy, like I completely agree with you when it comes to ego, and when it comes to humans feeling like there's inferior or superior to everybody. But at the end of the day, I'm talking about the actual execution. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, if we're not executing on the things like kind of even what Gary's talking about, you know what I mean? Like we can have conversations all day about certain things, but if we're not executing on the things that we're talking about, you know what I mean? What's the point? So that's what I'm saying.
Consistency is key. Yo, I run a show. It's called the Good Morning Crypto Show. Every single day, haven't missed a day since November, and I'm doing 365 days. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that's my thing. And I had a 5-year plan. I'm about done with it, and I completed everything but one thing. So I put my money where my mouth is and get shit done. Did I always do that in my life? Hell no. But over time,
There's that ego.
No,
I'm just messing with you.
well, no, it's true. Did I used to? No. Do I now? Yeah.
But yeah, see, that's a self thing. But I'm talking about as again consumers, right? The human being, the race, right? You know what I mean? We don't execute. So like, I get Fresh is afraid of AGI and things of that nature, but at the end of the day, I do believe that if we start practicing and executing on the things that we're talking about, I do feel like an influx of change will happen. We're obviously getting smarter and more aware of the problems and the situations around us, but we haven't executed on those problems. See what I'm saying? So that's just kind of like.
You mean executed as a people, as a group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, not just the idea, like similar to people who are just brainstorming in a room and saying, this if we execute this, then this could happen. And this it's like the rabbit hole. You know what I mean? But
I think cryptocurrency is the what we're doing already. We're like in a revolution in the financial system at
yeah.
this point. So I
Um,
think some people, especially the ones who are building and still trying to go with it, are doing that.
What's up, Stonks? You got your hand up? You got
Okay,
something
so
on this topic?
yeah, two things. I haven't heard anybody worry about how the government is going to use AGI to control the masses. And Tyrell, you really got to get out of the mindset of comparing yourself in with consumers. You are not a consumer, you're an investor.
I cannot help it. Like at the end of the
And you
day,
got
I
to, bro.
completely, like I said, I always play devil's advocate because I understand that everybody intellect is not the same. See what I'm saying? That's what we do. Once you become a 1%, you get into that mindset like, well, I'm disassociating myself from the mass community. And I do.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. I don't believe anybody thinks the way I think. You know what I mean? I get on everybody on this stage. Well, most people who have been on the stage with me know I've argued, debate on so many topics and theories that I feel like is true with the facts and information that I have. But at the end of the day, I still believe that we can't do anything without the mass population. See what I'm saying? We all need to be on agreement on certain things. That's the only reason why I think on a consumer behavior is because if we're really going to be able to grow and influx and actually execute, it just can't be a 1 or 2 or 5% of people executing. It has to be a mass thing. That's the only reason why I think on a consumer behavior. Other than that, I believe that, you know what I mean? Like things is going to play itself out and the people who are smart enough to execute, going back to execution, is going to execute. And that's really it.
Yeah, but
So,
have you ever heard of the
Tyrell,
phrase, you can't take care of yourself, or you can't take care of others until you take care of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I
Order
mean?
to take care of others, you have to break the mindset of you are like everybody else. You have
so
to
all
have that bar set higher so that you have to move the bar level up. If you want to be able to take care of those around you, instead of being comfortable, you have to say, I'm not like these people. I don't want those new Jordans. I'm going to put that money in crypto and live cash broke, because at the end of the day, I want better in the future for my family. And in order to do
100%.
that, I have to have the education, I have to have the discipline, and I have to have that mindset. And you constantly comparing yourself to the consumer outside of when you're looking at an investment of what the consumer consumes,
Mm-hmm.
you can't do that. That's all.
So
That's the
Hey,
game.
real
80% of
quick,
the game
I
is
have to be
mindset.
out. I have to dip out. Stonk Muncher, I love you. Beautifully said and 100% the truth. Took me a bit to get there as well. But yeah, I got there. You're an investor, and y'all already know me. I want to be a shark. So I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night.
Yeah, no
peace,
problem, Jay.
man. Thanks for joining the show.
No problem.
So, real quick, Tyrell and Stonks.
All
You,
right, then I gotta go.
Tyrell, you are right. The only way we can make change is if the consumers do it. You're 100% right. The 1% doesn't run the world because they do all the work. The whole economic systems wouldn't even be a thing. We would have no
You see
growth
what I'm
if it
saying?
wasn't for consumers. But I don't like to speak in what ifs. I like to speak in what is. And what is
Mhm.
right now is the consumers are propagandized to, like, Twitter, or no, TikTok is the perfect example, and YouTube
Yeah,
Shorts. People are getting more propagandized to the point they can't they're like goldfish. They can't pay attention to something long enough to put their money in it to even be an investor. That's why you see so many people nowadays want to be day traders. They're looking for that fast money, that Lamborghini. Let's go, baby. Woo! Let's get that one day trade in and we're rich. And then they get in the stock market and they lose all their money on the first trade. And some of them are crazy enough to even go on leverage and margin, and they lose money they didn't even have.
right.
That's the problem we have. That's why I'm saying education over regulation, because it's that consumer power that does change everything, right?
Right.
But the mass populations of consumers are not just not accepting crypto. They're not, or they're against crypto. They're against the stock market. You know, the mass population has been tricked into putting their money in the 401ks. Think of the premise of a 401k.
Right.
Your money is going to leave your check to go to some guy on Wall Street you don't know to trade your money for you. Now, if you've ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street, that is a true story based on a true story. Wall Street guys do cocaine, they get it down with prostitutes and all that stuff.
Yeah,
They're
we
going to
do.
be hangover the next day and stuff. I don't trust these people. These people have not come and had a cup of coffee with me or had a cup of tea with me in my house. I
They
don't know
won't.
them, right?
They won't.
Exactly, they're not going to, but that's what I'm saying. Like that is the trick. This is the symptoms again that I've been talking about from all of this. Like the population, you're right. If they wake up, then we could have some real power as consumers to change the markets. But the truth is, right now, I mean, we're fighting with each other over the dumbest shit. We're fighting over skin color, everything. You know, like skin color. Like this is one of my pet peeves is people who fight over skin color for this one reason. Skin color is the least genetic thing to hate somebody over. I would much rather hate them over their dumb big nose or their long toes or something like that, because that's more of a genetic, that's a bigger of a genetic thing than actual skin color. Like that's such a minimal thing, not to take away from anything, but that's just like, that's been used for thousands of years against the consumers to make us fight each other. You know, so as long as we're fighting, we're never, ever going to be able to take any power away because we're too busy fighting with ourselves.
And yep.
Sorry. At the end of the day, who controls and allows the mass population access to this stuff? Like, thankfully, there are certain states that are banning it on government devices, but there is no ban on stuff like TikTok or even YouTube Shorts on YouTube Kids. Like, this stuff is literally designed to not only engage your attention, but it feeds you divisive content to throw you into your own echo chamber, politics aside. Regardless, if you happen to like one particular team of football and the algorithm picks up on that, it's going to spew nothing but that team at you, or the rival team at you, because it wants that engagement. It wants you in that comment section talking trash on that other page. And if you're willing to engage in that, on just the basic level, think of what it's going to be like for kids my son's age who grow up just hyper exposed to it. They will have no attention span. Like, I'm not about screen time or limiting my son's access to digital devices, because at the end of the day, I feel like it will inhibit his ability to adapt to the technology that's going to be coming out as he grows up. It's going to stunt him and it's going to put him at an economic disadvantage. Whereas I would rather limit the type of consumption in the different apps that he has. TikTok is a toxic wasteland. It's not allowed on any device in my house that has access to my router, like plain and simple, because it's in the terms and service agreement. If you allow it access to one device with that email and that device accesses another computer, tablet, or anything.
Go ahead, H. What's up?
Oh,
sorry, Tyrell. H, you're trying to jump in there. What's up, H?
No. I was listening to her. I was liking what she was saying. Go ahead, Stomp.
It sounds like, oh, there she is. Okay, she's back.
Yeah, I think one of our cats got out. But yeah, on that note, I'm gonna have to go. But that's definitely, like, if you don't think government is behind this stuff being pushed at us, you're wrong. And it's gonna be to the government's advantage, not ours, that our behaviors are adapted and modified.
but real quick, Stunk, before you go, you don't feel like television does the same exact thing? And we've been, programmed way before social media to be influenced by the television first. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, then we gotta
and
go.
that's why I limit what my son watches on TV as well.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like I think going back to what Ben always talks about, a lot of these are symptoms of the main problem. It's propaganda that's going to be, publicized every single day. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times, like I understand when people are like, well, the algorithm pursues this, and this, but I get a lot of education on every platform. See what I'm saying? I don't subscribe and follow people who are not educating me. I think that's also goes back to self accountability. You know, y'all gonna hear me talk about this a lot too. Like if we're not holding ourselves accountable to the stuff that we type in, the SEO that we pursue out into the world, then at the end of the day, it's going to keep repeating itself. See what I'm saying? We have to control what we're searching up, what's on our mind, and what we're actually educating ourselves on first. Then the algorithm is going to change, not the other way around. If you're still watching porn, of course it's going to pop up as an ad. If you're still watching negative videos, of course it's going to pop up. See what I'm saying? Because that is going off of what you consume, what you entice to be want to want to click on and engage with. See what I'm saying? If you like girls and you want to sit here and engage on nothing but girls' pictures, what do you think is going to be on your timeline at the end of the day? So that's my main thing is like we have to control our consumer behavior and what we're typing in and educating ourselves first. Then the algorithm is going to change, not the other way around.
That's true, but that's the thing. Like we're talking about the mass population. Like the mass population is watching funny cat videos. They're watching, Logan Paul and Jake Paul throw bottles of water at each other. They're watching like all this nonsense. So they get stuck in that echo chamber. That's the trap. Like you're 100% right, Tyrell. Like we need education amongst the mass populace, but it's a hard thing because while we're educating, we are fighting against the government's de-educating. So it's a tough battle. That's why I was asking earlier, like what is the best thing we can do? Not just us as a DAO, not just you guys as creators outside of the DAO or in the DAO or whatever, but what can we do all as one? Because it's going to take all of us in this Web3 combining together. What are we going to do? Like maybe a council of DAOs or something to have like a way to fight back, because right now, even in the Web3 space, I've been in so many Twitter spaces, and it's the same tribalness that goes back to the beginning of time. People are blockchain maxis, or they're PFP maxis of this one PFP group and stuff like that. Like,
I
then
agree.
Here's another thing to add to it too. Remember, like if you're trading crypto and you buy Bitcoin, and then you sell it back for USD, when you go into Bitcoin, that goes away from the US dollar, but then you go back into it when you sell it. So even the day trading, like we've got tons of people, and I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of this myself. I'm a hypocrite because I'm a day trader. We're trying to make money to survive individually off of day trading the cryptos and stuff, but that also is individually each putting the money back in the US dollar, and then we have to pay taxes on it. So it's a hard thing right now, just the whole issue. That's why I want to come to some type of solution to start building. Like you've been saying, it's all about execution. And that's what we want to do. We want to execute. We want to take action and educate, but we've got to all be on the same page, at least in Web3. Like we're not even in the same page in Web3 right now.
No, absolutely. But that's the thing. I think the conversations that you're talking about, how we can come to a conclusion as a collective and have these conversations is bridging the gap. See what I'm saying? And then the second thing is I love books. You know what I mean? I love reading. I think more books and education where people can sit down and have a hard copy and actually consume the knowledge and come back to the knowledge is going to be key as well. Because, you guys brought up a great point of like, think about all of the knowledge that we forget. See what I'm saying? All of the information that we forget. See what I'm saying? So I believe that there should be libraries on Web3. There should be stores of Web3, meaning like where you can come into a physical location and get counseling and education. You know what I mean? I don't believe there's enough places in the physical realm where I can walk into a place and get the education that I'm looking for besides a school platform. See what I'm saying? There needs to be other things. I don't care if it's a library. I don't care if it's a co-working space. There needs to be home spaces where people can come in and get the education that they're looking for without the propaganda. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. That's something that I think is a great idea. That's maybe that is Entra, or maybe that is Diamond, or all the social media is connected. Maybe Maintain needs to do a whole LP, 16 songs, teaching everybody about it.
Yeah, honestly, music is a major, major
Hey, Taylor, bro,
influence.
I'm busy. Don't bring me into this right now.
Nah, man. What I would say though, in my opinion, just looking at the world and humanity, man, it's definitely trial and error. So it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But the thing is, it always starts with one or a few, and the demonstration that is displayed by few can encourage others. So it might start slow, but the energy, the righteous energy, and the enlightening energy of the gifted will eventually spread.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I'm
I
dropping the bars, man.
Like NFTs, actually eliminate consumers. With NFTs, we build a social economy where the consumer is eliminated eventually.
No, I agree. Like the fact that I'm able to, monetize my likeliness is already a change. Think about we've given attention, time, and money to these platforms for years. Let's just call it at least a decade, right? With really nothing to show for it. Most of us have not made 6, 7 figures from these platforms, but we given years of our time to these platforms. And so that's my biggest thing. Like I feel like, especially like Instagram, I have a very big vendetta of Instagram because I spent most of my time, money, and energy on there and continuously get, revoked or blocked or hacked on these platforms and kind of like feeling like I'm wasting my time. You know what I mean? And that's the whole reason why I got into decentralized autonomous organizations because I want to be able to keep my community and not be held by the rules of the quote unquote people who own these companies. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like, why am I doing all of this work to build an impact and an influence in a community if I make one post, all of that can be gone tomorrow? You know what I mean? I think that is such an important thing for me. It's like, all right, in this next decade, I want my stuff to be impactful, but I want it to be sustainable. I don't want it to be go overnight.
Are you familiar with R Drive, Tyrell?
No, I'm not.
R Drive, R Weave, it's the permaweb. I actually use it. It's permanent storage. Like, my great grandkids to be able to, have access to my files.
What is it called?
It's Arweave is the crypto, uh, and the actual application is R Drive, which is a permaweb. I'll put some in the chat in a minute. I'll get a link for you.
Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, that's my thing, right? Like, think about all of the emails and the users in the last decade. I could have at least 500,000 emails easily. See what I'm saying? Just from the people that I've met, the people that I can engage with, so on and so forth, just on all of the platforms and on. And I don't have 1,000 emails, you know what I mean? I don't, or 100,000 emails. So I think about that all the time. That's why I really love wallets, because I'm hoping that 5 years from now, I still have these wallets and I can still engage with all of you guys, even if we're not on the same platforms. And I mean, if Entra was gone in the next 5 years, God forbid, I still want to have access to every single last one of you guys. And I don't believe there's a platform right now that I can do that. If I'm off Instagram, then half of the people who know me won't know me anymore. You know what I mean? And you can say, well, Ty, diversify to YouTube, diversify to Twitter, so on and so forth. But what if the consumer gets off that platform? Gary Vee talks about this a lot. I mean, consumer attention is here today and gone tomorrow, yet we don't never get to really collect that data.
Yep. That's what we were just saying about the consumers, man. They're getting smaller and smaller.
Link in the chat, bro.
Yeah, and I've also got Arweave pulled up on the live stream on YouTube and Twitter right now, so people can see it too. I was going to drop it in there, but you beat me to it. But yeah, just so people can check it out. Arweave is a solution that with the NFTs.me launching platform on DeSo, you can store your NFTs in the Arweave permaweb. So that's something we'll be doing for the rest of Forgotten Corners NFTs. And speaking of, we're going to take a little break here. We've been going crazy. This has been quite a room. As you can see, we got the Genesis Men up here. We have had a giveaway going on Forgotten Corners for one of the rare NFTs the last couple of days. And very few people have guessed, but I'm going to drop the link in here for you guys. And if you can guess what this first mini game is we're dropping, you'll have your choice of a rare, one of the rare character Genesis mints of Forgotten Corners.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. And Ben, I want to ask you guys a question as well. Like, is there going to be a way for me to, basically repopulate my social media accounts to another account? Meaning, like, if I have 100,000 people on my Instagram and I want to convert those 100,000 people to Entra overnight, or maybe even a week or a month or whatever time frame it is it going to be possible for me to basically populate that platform instantly?
Well, I mean, you're not going to be able to take a full list of subscribers and move them over, but like with Setu, Diso, or OneCloud, you can connect your Twitter to your Diamond, and I know they're working on Instagram and probably, I mean, if they're done Twitter already and they're working on it, working on Instagram, they're probably going to work on other ones. So I would say that's probably where it's going to help a lot with what you're saying, because that is, a concern of all creators. But yeah, like putting your stuff on the Arweave and putting it on Diamond.
If it's on one node, it's on every node. You know what I'm saying?
And all right, can someone please give me a crash course of nodes? I'm sorry, I have no idea.
Apps.
Like I really like. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So it's just
apps. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So is that going to be the new thing? Can I be? If I have a Twitter,
anybody on DSO can build a node, get a node built, or anything like that. And then also with the nodes, you actually can receive, you can earn by having a node on the blockchain because of the mechanics.
So let's say I have a Twitter node, you know what I mean, and I have 1,000 people on my Twitter node.
Yeah, it's Dominant is pretty much like a Twitter node.
Perfect. So I can take those 1,000 people and convert them to another node, like an Instagram node
on the block. No, now see with Instagram, yeah, you would have to. It'd be a hell of a process. But what I was speaking of, like, say if you were to build 1,000 people on, say you build a node on DSO,
yeah,
and then you have 1,000 people that follow you on that particular node.
Yeah.
Let's say it's another node on DSO that you want to be on.
Yeah.
All you do is sign into that with your DSO identity, that node, and everything is still there. The followers, the information, your posts.
Oh my God. Okay. That's it. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking for. I don't want to, if Instagram was gone today and I had 10,000 people, I don't want to be like, well, now I got to go on DSO and start all over again. That makes no fucking sense to me. You know what I mean? Like if I built these followers, I built this communication with and this impact with all these
from Instagram to the blockchain. Like I said, that's gonna be a struggle, but I
don't believe it's gonna be a struggle, because if you just proved my point. I know artists right now who are like, listen, I don't want to lose.
Yeah, it's very possible.
You see what I'm saying? Like these are the people who are afraid. Like my little sister. My little sister grew 60,000 people on TikTok. You think she was not upset when she lost all those people? And I know what you guys saying. Well, it's just TikTok. Who cares? She cares. She just created that content for a reason. And now, just because of one regulation or one rule that was quote unquote broken, now all of her content is basically gone. You know what I mean? Like going back to the IP thing that Gary always talks about, right? Like I think that is so inconsiderate. The fact that we can build on
and things like our drive. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? Like that shit is that's like, look at all her drafts and stuff like that. Like I think you guys are onto something when it comes to digital storage, because I noticed something as well. Like I was on Facebook and Instagram for so long, and I had pictures and content, and I went to Google. None of those pictures or images are there. See what I'm saying? Like none of them, and I it's like I don't even exist.
Yeah, and the perma is very powerful too. Just take a family, passing down family history, certain events or certain information that you don't want to get diluted. It's very powerful.
You said permaweb?
Yeah, because if we had something like that already in place, then things would be a lot different for us today.
100%. Yeah, the links to Arweave there. But we're trying to do this giveaway right now, Tyrell. You could win this NFT right now if you can guess this. We'll get back to the conversation here after this. We just gotta, we're about middle of the half of the show, so we're gonna just do a little talking about the DAO and the DAO audits and updates, and then we'll get back to the full conversation. So let me see. I'm trying to get this link here. So this is on the Forgotten Corners Diamond. This image, I'm gonna drop this, or Fresh is gonna drop it, and I'll drop this picture in the chat. Well, actually, I can't do it because I'm got the DAO thing. He said he can't drop links either. H, let's see. H, you can drop links. You there, H? The way we're hosting this to YouTube and Twitter, my computer's not wanting to cooperate. I'm on my phone talking. But anyway, this picture, so H can drop it or share your screen, H, and you can show them the picture. Nobody has guessed yet. There's been a few people on Twitter guessed, but nobody's guessed what this first mini game is. So as soon as we get that image up here, and while we're waiting on that, we came out with our DAO earnings fresh. If you want to pull up the NFT from the DAO or share your screen, it's a free NFT for those who haven't gotten it. If we're a coin holder already, we dropped it, but we're the first DAO to use NFT technology to put out our quarterly audits. So that way that it's on the blockchain, like we're talking about, the permaweb. And that way there's no sneaky stuff like with stock market companies, things like that. So we're hoping to pave the way for other DAOs and them take this idea, and be able to store, the financial data backing your DAO through the NFTs.
That's what's up.
No, that's dope. That's dope as hell. So what's going to be the next game that's going to be released? Is the question?
Yeah, there's an image. I'm trying to drop it. Let me see here. Hold on just a second. I'm going to switch. HR, are you able to drop anything? I don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we go. I think Fresh has got it down there on, something's popping up. There we go. So that's the NFT for the audit, for our quarterly audit last year. Now we did.
It looks like they all bounced back to your account, then, because nobody owns them anymore except the DLA DAO account.
That may be the second one. I uploaded a second one with a downloadable PDF. One's a zip and one's a PDF. Both of them are free.
I got mine, didn't I?
Yeah. If you were a coin holder already, you got yours dropped to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's actually openable. You can, if you go right there, Fresh is showing you right there, you open, download from transfer, and it will bring up the whole PDF. And you'll be able to see, like, Fresh did some artwork for the PDF for the audit in the background of all our numbers for our NFT lending programs. Even for a bear market, our growth as far as US dollar wise wasn't terrible. We did go backwards a little bit US dollar wise, but all of our positions got bigger. Now, we did have an issue with Thunderlands that just now started going on here in this last month or two. Okay, he's got the audit pulled up there. So this is actually in your NFT that you're able to see all the wallets and all the wallet addresses of all the DAO's holdings. You're able to see all of our finances and everything here. And then, so this is why we're trying to, pave the way for DAOs and their protocols. This is on DSO blockchain. This is the official NFT. So that, that's something new, I think, but take it, steal it from us, please. I think this helps DAOs transparent.
How do I get access to that? I want to read that.
So are you a DAO coin holder? Let's see. Let me pull you up on Diamond.
Yeah, I'm going to say we got to go. So how do I become a DAO coin holder? That's the first question.
So there is multiple ways. We do have a contribution round open on Open Fund.
Okay.
But I will drop you a couple of tokens out of my personal wallet right now so you can be a DAO member.
I was about to say, bro, like just let me know, man, because I already told you, like I'm willing to like dive deeper into this, especially when it comes to just the overall DAO community. mean, and then my mentor, Dell, he even told me like, you know, he's willing to dive deeper as well. So it's like as long as I'm educated on exactly what's the process, I plan to start bringing in way more people. But I just want to know, like, again, going back to the education aspect, is like, you know, what is the beginning stages of actually being a part of this? Like how I even got my NFT was because on Twitter, the guy just literally was like, "Yo, Ty, I see you doing marketing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna send you a PHP, and you know, I just want you to promote it. See what I'm saying? Promote this project." So it's like, I think for me, I'm still looking for more of the education for the onboarding, so then that way I can know, you know, how to put somebody else on.
For sure, for sure. And that's why we're doing this show too, is to start helping educate more about our DAO and just DAOs in general and Web3 and everything. You know, because it's so much information. Like there's just so much to process. But you know, we're learning too. We've only been launched 5 months, and it's not been an easy ride. We had to relaunch twice. The first time we were on Juno blockchain in the Cosmos ecosystem and had some staking contract issues, and we ended up finding DeSo and was like, let's just move to DeSo. So we moved over to DeSo, and then we had that hard fork a while back that glitched our DAO out on OpenFund, so we had to relaunch the DAO again. But even through that, you know, we used the Discord as our main base of operations. So we were still able to move, you know, and not really affect us that bad. But
Okay.
we're happy to be on DeSo for sure. And yeah, you see the image. This is the image. Can you guess what the first mini game is? Whoever can guess this will be able to get their choice of one of the Forgotten Corner rare NFTs. And then while y'all are looking and guessing, I'll send you those tokens, or coins. They're called coins on here. Real quick, Tyrell, so that way you can check out everything we got going.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Michael Mara. Michael Mara just sent everybody 5 coins.
What's that? Hey,
Michael Mara just sent everybody 5 coins.
CEO,
I really appreciate it.
CEO of Onstra just jumped in the show. Appreciate you joining there, Mara. Michael, I don't know if you're still in the room or not, but send everybody 5 coins. That's awesome, man. Shout out to Michael and shout out to Joseph Pulaski, the director, Sean Snyder, all them boys, all the Onstra boys that doing work out here, making this show possible for us and other entrepreneurs here on Onstra.
So is this a game that's okay? So my question is, when it comes to the game, is this a game that's already like been played before, like a PC game? I'm assuming, or is it more like I just want. I'm still a little confused on what do you mean by the first game? You know what I mean? Is this like what is it called?
It's a mini game. So like our whole game is going to be like a metaverse, right? But on the way to building this metaverse, we're going to release a few mini games. I almost slipped up. I almost just gave you guys the answer. So I want you guys to guess, because after the guess is out, then I can give a little bit more, you know. But
yeah.
Until then, I have to keep it close to the chest.
Arcade game or a PC game?
I mean, it could be an arcade game. It could be a card game. It could be a mobile game. You know, it could be like.
Okay, yeah, this is tough.
And I mean, I think that we should leave that up, and nobody from here react, and we'll give away 1 to anybody who guesses it live.
All right, I'm doing my research. I'll be back. I'm still listening.
All right, we'll leave it up then. I'm gonna send him those coins real quick, and then we can get back to the conversation. Unless there's any more updates? HH, you got any updates from the DAO you want to talk about, or you're live streaming the stock market trading fresh? You're gonna be talking about the game here in a second. Yeah, well, that's the only devs we got in. We also got Zoran in here. What's up, Zoran? He's a pretty world famous photographer of sorts, I think, and also enjoys snails on his head from the last time I talked to him. We'll go ahead and bring him up on stage. That's a real deep Onstra inside joke right there. There we go. How's it going, my friend?
Snails crawling on the face. Yeah, that's a good.
Hey, What's up,
Thanks for joining the show. What's going on with
What's
you,
up, man?
Zoran?
I'm just coming in and listening and downloading some stuff on the computer. So I'm glad I'm here.
I'm glad to have
Sorry.
you. What'd you say
What's
on that?
what's the talk right now? The
So we've
DAO
got
show.
the DLA DAO show. We're a decentralized autonomous organization on DSO, and we're hosting our show here. This is the first episode on Entra, and then streaming to Twitter and YouTube. We've got Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 4 to 6 p.m., and then we're going to get into some type of weekend events where we play some games and give out some DLA DAO coins and Forgotten Corners NFTs. Our metaverse Play-Doh and we're working on DSO. And that image above there, we're actually in the middle of a contest here. We're trying to see who can guess what the first mini game of Forgotten Corners metaverse is going to be. And that image is blurred, but that is a clue of what this first mini game is going to be. And whoever can guess what the game is going to be will be able to get their choice of a rare Forgotten Corners NFT, one of the rare Genesis characters.
Wow, that's great. I'm going to promote.
Is it a grenade?
Was that maintained? Or Gary?
So it looks like a grenade, maybe a ship, a boat, space boat.
Space boat game, right? We're going space jet skis, people flying behind us in space on skis as well. What you got maintained? What'd you say it? Because the boat that's
No, I'm just saying Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog. This is like what do they call it? What's the psychological test? The ink blot test? That's what's going on right now. Everybody's seeing different things.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, geez, like this is like when you go to the psychologist and they pull out those ink blots and they ask you what you see. So,
A butterfly.
I mean, I want to talk about the game a little bit, but I'm scared to give too much away, right? Like, I feel like once I say a couple of the plans, you'll know what it is, or you'll guess what it is.
Drop a hint, because I didn't know this blur was going to make this as difficult. So we'll go ahead and drop a hint.
Okay, so how we got started in this is that we wanted to make a casino based on something like the casino from Star Wars. That's the only one.
I have no idea. I'm more excited now to know the game. You know what I mean? I don't even care about the prize now. I'm just more excited about trying to figure out because this is all new to me. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm just like I have no idea.
This is so good. I'm enjoying torching y'all right now.
I know. Like, I don't want to say too much. Like, what do you do at casinos, bro?
Well, yeah. Remember, this is a game. This is a type of game.
Is it a slot machine?
What?
I said slot machine, but I don't. I'm trying to think.
I'm gonna throw out one more hint. Fresh has actually told y'all twice now what the game is. He said it straight out.
What, Star Wars?
No.
No. See, I have no idea.
Is gambling a game? Just gambling in general? Just out throwing bones on the corner?
Blackjack.
Oh, blackjack.
Hookers.
What is blackjack and poker?
Card game?
Oh, is it a...
Oh, Tyrell got it. It's a card game. Tyrell got it. It's a card game. Fresh gave you the answer twice. He said card game and poker and casino. He gave you every answer.
Let's go.
So I think this would be a good time for Ben to explain a little bit about this card game.
What's up, Maintain? Yeah, we'll hop into it. What's up, Maintain? You were trying to say something?
No, I was just saying Taiwan.
Let's go. I feel like Gary should have won that though, because he was close to it. I just literally said card game, but I appreciate it.
Gary, if you want to challenge him to a duel, we'll live stream the duel and y'all can decide that way. That's how we do things. I'm just kidding.
Ooh, I like.
I challenge you to a duel.
I have a website. If you guys are both on PC, you guys can log in and face each other in Mortal Kombat.
Oh
Do
my
you want
god.
to do that live?
Okay.
Do you want to see you two play live for this rare NFT? Is everybody down for that right now?
Listen, I'm about to let me
I'm on
get
my
my
phone.
laptop real quick, man. Don't test me, man. Don't test. I love me some Mortal Kombat. If we so this is
Hey
my
man,
thing.
Street Fighter, any kind of Super Nintendo game, bro. Mario Kart, whatever you want to get into, bro.
Yo,
So
this
this
is
is one
amazing.
of the this is what we're going to do on the weekends. Besides, once our games come out, we'll be playing those too. But we're going to play some Web3 games. But we're also going to play some old school games for DLA token rewards
Yeah,
and things like that on the weekends. So that's why Freshly dropped
yeah,
that out about this website that we're going to be using for it. We were
yeah.
playing Mario the other day, the old Super Nintendo Mario, bro, riding on Yoshi.
Yeah. Gary, I don't think you want any smoke in Mortal Kombat, man. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm really elite, man. They should ban me from the game.
Maybe.
I mean, Gary's from the time where Mortal Kombat really made its name, bro. Like, I don't know. I might have my money on Gary.
I don't know,
Gary's
man. I've been
50.
on the block. I had the Sega Genesis. You know what I mean? I had the first PlayStation. I feel like I'm a vet out here, man. I don't know.
Gary's almost 50 years old and from Texas. He's been doing real Mortal Kombat when he was a kid.
Get over here.
Yeah.
And that was,
He was out
that was
there
just to get
uppercutting
breakfast.
just to get breakfast, out there uppercutting people through the ceilings for a burrito, a breakfast burrito.
I'm telling you, man. Like especially Street Fighter. Street Fighter was my game, man. Like if we, oh my gosh, like y'all is really bringing me back. Okay, do y'all remember the little duck game with the? This was back. What system was that? I think it was the Sega Genesis. Yes, that was like one of my favorite.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite games as a kid, man. I swear. And then Crash Bandicoot. Y'all remember that? That was another good game too.
That's my jam, bro. That's my jam.
Real quick,
Crash Bandicoot is still my
Tyrell,
jam.
what's your username on Diamond and all that? What's your
I believe it's Crypto Bells. Let me go.
Crypto Bells, that's right. Never mind,
Yeah.
I'll find you. I forgot it's Crypto Bells. I was looking for Tyrell. Well, where's it at?
I just dropped in the chat the link to the room. So whoever's gonna face off, join the room. If you guys trying to face off, and then I'll load the game.
Gary said he's on his phone right now, so he's probably at a disadvantage. His old man fingers, man. He's.
Ah man. Let me see. Hold on. I'm logging in now, man. I want all the smoke before I go. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta catch me a quick dub. But if I can't, it's all good. I got you guys next time. But let me log in, man. This is good for me. This is the perfect time for me to really get on the Diamond app and start locking in with you guys. 1 second.
Yep, and I just sent you some DAO tokens. So by being a DLA DAO, I say token. I guess it is tokens. It's confusing me because some of it says coins and some of it says tokens on DSO. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. Yeah, I sent you those 10. Check your wallet. Those DLA DAO coins. You're now a member. Anybody can be a member of the DAO. You have governance rights when you have the DAO coin. You're able to vote on proposals, and we've got a ton of proposals coming up. There's the app Fresh is talking about where we'll be hosting some games on for weekend events for rewards and prizes. So Gary, what do we decide on this? We got somebody in the audience here with their hand raised. Let's go ahead and bring them up. I see you down there, Stanley. Come on up here. Did we lose Gary? I see Annika's in the audience. Annika, tell Gary to get up here. Is he one? We got to figure out what y'all want to do with this. There he is. Gary, what you want to do with this? Tyrell's saying he's trying to be a fair dude and be like, man, Gary kind of got it. What you want to do? I'm leaving it up to y'all. until Gary comes on. What's up, Stanley? How's it going? What do you got going on here? I see you got a heart product designer.
And I ain't played that game in so long, I forgot all the moves. I could
You
fuck
wanna-
up some Mario.
Oh, Fresh has got the Mortal Kombat up right now. So yeah, if you join that room, the link in the room chat there, you can join. You can join Fresh and play Fresh right now in Mortal Kombat or whatever else. See, right there's what Gary did to people for breakfast.
She
What's up, Stanley?
fucked
Go
me
ahead.
up.
How's it going? Welcome to the show, Stanley.
You I don't know. Something seems to be wrong.
Okay, I can't. Are you speaking? We can't really hear you, or I can't really hear you.
Oh,
Stanley?
You can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. How's it going? Welcome to the show.
Wow, thank you. I'm having issues seeing like I'm having issues muting and unmuting. I think the app is maybe I'll just close the app and come back in.
Yeah, that usually works. Just close the app and come back in, and if you want to speak, just raise your hand. We'll pull you up on stage. It's probably the CIA right now tapping into our room. It's definitely not Entra glitches at all, Sean Snyder. It's not Entra glitches at all. Michael's gonna be so. Michael, come here and tip this all, and I'm sitting here talking trash. No, I'm just kidding. Don't kill me, Michael. Seriously. Anyway, so yeah, let's get back to the conversation. You guys, we'll how about this? We'll hold the event this weekend as one of the events. We'll give Gary and Tyrell some time to flex their fingers, work them out, and get ready to battle each other. And maybe we'll make the pot even bigger. We'll make it even sweeter if they're going to go at each other live on the weekend show. How's that sound, Gary, Tyrell?
Yeah, I say we give away maybe some DLA Now tokens or maybe one or two diesel.
Well, I don't have. Are you talking about on the weekend? Or are you talking about right now?
No, yeah, on the weekend.
For sure.
It's a pretty creative way to get me. It's a pretty creative way to get me to join another show, Ben.
I'm very, very sneaky, sir.
I know what you're doing.
Very, very sneaky, sir.
Very sneaky.
All right, so it sounds like you guys are good with that, and then we'll do it for the weekend. We'll sweeten the pot. We'll do some other giveaways, some tournaments here on Mario, and let's get into. Let's talk about the Forgotten Corners game now. So the first mini game we know is going to be a card game. We have it fully designed. It just is going into Unreal Engine 5 development here soon in the next week. So the timeline is we'll have this game out by the end of Q1, and this will be a pretty simple mini game as a card game that everybody will be able to play. And once we have it out of alpha, because we're going to release it in alpha, and then it'll just be free to play. There won't be any money to earn yet, but then we'll go into adding the fuel conversion and the fuel token to where the NFTs from the Genesis character meant for Forgotten Corners, that fuel conversion percentage will be a bonus on how much fuel you convert to DSO when you're taking out your play to earn rewards. So this card game, we'll be dropping more details in the coming weeks as we're getting closer to getting it finished up. There's the Genesis men above on the screen. Those are the characters at fuel conversion percentage. But yeah, this card game is just one of 6 mini games for the whole entire metaverse. And once the metaverse is completed, then we'll have a little secret alpha. We're going to have a little arcade area where you'll be able to go play these mini games inside the metaverse. But remember, the whole metaverse itself is going to be play to earn. So we're starting out nice and simple with a nice, simple card game that hopefully everybody enjoys. Here's the thing about it. We're a DAO, so if there's things you don't like, you just let us know, right? and then we can all vote on it and switch some things out or whatever if the game's not running right. That's the point of the DAOs. We all able to come together, use all of our ideas, and make some strong products to put out there to help onboard people from Web 2 to Web 3. So we'll be talking about the game more, but the card game more, but it's not your normal card game. It's not a TCG type of trading card game. It's very, very interesting. And we'll
everybody plays with the same deck all the time. We will be releasing multiple decks, but the first one will be just one 60 card deck for everybody to play with. There will be attack cards, defense cards, and character cards, and that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple game that, again, like Ben said, I think everybody could get into and enjoy.
Yeah, to clarify, if there's 8 people at a table, they're playing from the 160 card deck. That not everybody doesn't have their own deck like trading card games. Everybody plays from the same deck at the table. But yeah, that is what we got going on. We'll definitely be spoiling more as we're moving forward. We'll be back Wednesday for another show. We'll do a little bit more teasers on that. But yeah, we can hop back in the conversation now unless anybody has any questions about Forgotten Corners or DLA DAO, or I know Tyrell, you got more questions about DAOs in general. But yeah, let's hop back into the conversation. What do we got going on? Was there any other news out today? I know there's the India news, India trying to ban cryptocurrencies, claiming that, and then DeSo doing 2 exchange listings, which is pretty big for DeSo, I would say. The more, and this generally happens in crypto, the more exchanges your coin is listed on, the more volume, so tends to get either bigger pushes up or a lot of selling off, depending on if the
What exchanges are they going on?
What's that?
What exchanges are they going on?
Bitmart was one, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the other one was. It was we tweeted it out. Let's see, Fresh has got the news up on the screen up there. Did that DeSo news make crypto panic, or was it just tweeted by DeSo? Here, let me see if I'll pull up the Twitter and see what we got. See if I can find what that other listing was, because the other exchange was not one I was that familiar with. Let me see here. But they announced they're planning on listing on a lot of exchanges throughout the year. They're already listed on Coinbase and backed by Coinbase, so these other exchanges are just going to add more people the ability to get into DeSo, basically, or get out of it. What was it? No, that tweet they just said 2 done this year.
It was just Bitmart.
No, but they just tweeted today. They said there's 2 exchange listings this week, and one of them was Bitmart, and I can't remember what the other one was. I saw the tweet for the other one, but I can't remember it. It's another exchange. Doesn't matter, but still. Anything else in the news? What do we got in the stock market? The stock market's closed today. Any predictions on how the market's going to open tomorrow? We know the NASDAQ and cryptos and the US dollar and all these commodities, all these things running together, pretty simultaneously at the moment. Some of them looking a little bearish, some of them looking a little bullish. I know I was looking at the uranium chart last night. Uranium looks crazy. It's not an investment advice. I'm just saying it looks crazy. H, what have you been focused on the stock market lately?
How's the Ukrainian looking?
The Ukrainian?
Yeah, that was a joke.
Okay, I was just making sure that was a joke. I wasn't sure what you meant at first. If H is here, I don't know. H may have disappeared. He's sneaky like that. He's in and out. I don't think he's there. Tyrell, anybody want to jump in, talk about the prediction for tomorrow's market open and what we're going to see on the NASDAQ and these commodities in the crypto market? Or any questions about the DAOs? Okay. Everybody's getting quiet right now.
I don't know if with this Princeton and Diesel.
What was it? Was it Princeton did something with Diesel?
Yeah.
Oh, Annika's wants to smoke. Annika's talking smoke in the room chat. I just saw down there. She said she hasn't played the game since college, 1993. But she said, "Remember, I crush you," and got little crushy fingers.
Oh,
So maybe
that's from Kids in the Hall. That's from Kids in the Hall. I crush you.
Oh, okay.
I crush your head.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with Kids in the Hall. My bad. I thought she was just talking trash. I was gonna say, yeah, let's get Annika up here this weekend, see what she's gonna, how she can handle herself on there.
Probably
On the Mortal
smoke me,
Kombat?
I got rocked.
Yeah, on the Mortal Kombat, you got rocked fresh. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah. The computer rocked me, so I don't want any smoke.
Fresh is already bowing out of the weekend events. He's already out. He said, "No, I don't want any smoke from anybody." All right. Well, we are at that 2-hour mark. If there's no news or anything anybody wants to discuss for the end of the first episode of the DLA Dow Show, we can go ahead and call it a night. Get back to eating dinner, work, whatever you guys are doing. If you're listening on the way home, because I know if you're on Eastern Standard Time, you're probably driving in that crazy traffic, and it's probably annoying, and it probably smells like a bunch of gas and stinky stuff, maybe some trash on the road, whatever. Maybe you'll be joining us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. while you're in that traffic to listen. Any last words from anybody else in the room? Gary, do you want to take us out on a duet solo with one of your crazy voices? I say duet solo because you're one person, but I believe with your voice skills, you could do 2 songs or 2 octaves at once.
2 voices at once, huh? No, I don't have anything right now.
Perfect.
Nah.
Annika's poking him with a stick right now. Come on. He's over. No, I don't want to.
My characters are my proprietary information.
Oh, yeah, it's proprietary. Gary can't be letting out his voices. Those are locked down on Arweave and the Permaweb right now. Nobody's getting those.
Hey, you're going to devalue your character that I'm going to do the voice for.
I know. Well, I don't want you to do that voice. Just any voice, man. Any voice just to take us off. A nice, smooth serenade.
A nice serenade?
Yeah, of any voice you can think of any song. I don't even care if you make it up.
Oh, you want a song?
It can be a song, just whatever. Something to take us out, man. You're asking me like this is a test. I'm not trying to pass a test right now. I'm just trying to get you to take us on a little outro with one of your voices.
Oh, this is this guy Vic. I was working on. He's working at a shitty fucking dive bar in Las Vegas, and he's trying to do Frank Sinatra. And he goes, "I killed a dog, and I've smacked some broads, and I've paid off some cops, but I did it my fucking way. Hey, Rita, can I get another scotch up here?"
All right, guys. Thank you for joining the DLA Dow Show. Shout out to Gary for that great outro there. Shout out to Tyrell, Maintain, HH Fresh
I'm
Bueller.
fucking serious. I need that fucking scotch.
You sound like Clutch from Coffee and Crypto. No, we're gonna have to send him that clip. Anyway, all right, guys, y'all have a great rest of your night. We'll be back here Wednesday. If you haven't yet, go join the DAO by following us on Twitter, join the Discord, and there's multiple ways to earn DAO tokens to be a member. You don't just have to buy it. We have multiple programs going on, and the weekend events are going to be giving them away along with NFTs. So appreciate everybody joining us as always.
Should have just earned some, right?
What's that?
I just earned some, right? That's what I did that for?
Yeah. I'm going to send you some right after this, I promise.
Oh, I'm fucking rich. I'm going to buy a scotch.
It's in the mail, Gary. It's in the mail.
It's in the mail.
Please mail me a scotch.
Mail him a scotch. All right, perfect. Perfect end
All
of
right,
the
guys.
show.
See you.
Somebody get her. What's the character's name?
It's Vic.
Vince, Vic.
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 All right, give Vic a scotch. Somebody get him a scotch ASAP. You guys have a great rest of your night. Stay safe out there. Until next time.
All right, Ben. Bye bye.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.